What's up, guys? It's Wes from Midgard Axe. I've already reviewed the axe. Video's already been recorded, but I wanted to make this part of the video and come back because I had some secondary thoughts, and there's a reason why I'm throwing it at the beginning of this video. When I started this channel, one of the things I wanted to do was review axes, because there was a lot of times, and I heard from a lot of people, that when they would buy an axe, it would come in and be like a toy instead of an actual axe, and people were getting burned left and right with crap axes. Okay, are we okay with this? Are we okay spending our money to get axes that are subpar? And what gets me the most is how much these axes are that come in the condition that they come in, and then people think that we're crazy because we have something to say about it, or because we're not accepting what we get. I implore you to watch the entire video in the review of this axe. Watch what happens from the start all the way to the end. The start is pretty decent, and then as the video goes, I unbox it for you on camera, and as the review goes and goes and goes, it just gets worse and worse and worse. But this axe right here is a prime example as to why I started doing these reviews. I'm still agitated a little bit by it. I just can't believe it. I can't believe that this thing would be sent out to someone like this. I just can't. And it really irritates me that people put out axes and stamp their name or company logo or whatever on it and say, yeah, this is great. For example, I'm going to show you guys something really quick. All right, I was going to do a review on this for you guys, and I know it's probably in cinematic mode and it's probably really hard to see, sorry. But this is the HB, I believe it is the Anaby. It is the 20-inch handled axe. It's similar to the Grand Brook small forest axe. And I bought this. I haven't used it yet, but I did do some work on the handle as far as the stain, using the dye. And I got to looking at it, and of course, when we buy stuff online, we don't get to see what we're buying. We just get what we get, okay? Which is another problem with buying axes. But this thing came in the mail, and I just happened to take a look at it. This is probably, and I'm not hating on HB at all, but this is some of the stuff I'm talking about. Look at this bit. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but holy crap. And it's not the way it's hafted, it's the forging. This thing is literally sitting like, this is a $160, $170 axe. And the bit isn't even close to being straight. It's literally sitting here like this. Look at that. And when I look down the thing, you can see, like, I don't know if you guys can see this or not. I know that cinematic mode sucks. Look at this. It's literally sitting like, this is what I'm talking about. This is why I get agitated. We spend our hard-earned money on stuff, and some of us don't have a lot of money, which I understand. I've been through life where I've had a lot of money and I haven't. And I can understand when you don't have a ton of money and you do have some extra money and you want a tool, you expect it to come in a certain way. And I'm sorry, but some of this QC on some of this stuff is horrible, and I don't see how it leaves. I just don't understand how it leaves the factory or leaves someone's place of residence if they have a home blacksmithing shop, how it leaves in these conditions. I really don't. I mean, I can pick up an axe and within 5 seconds find a million flaws in this one axe that I just reviewed that you're about to watch. Within 10 minutes, I found everything wrong with that thing. And I only had it in my hand for 10 minutes. You can't tell me that person didn't have it in their hands for a day, 2 days, 3 days, forging it, hafting it, looking at everything on there. It's just, it drives me nuts. And, I'm not trying to beat on this guy. I'm really not. I'm not trying to be rude to him by any means. But I will call out people for putting out products that are subpar. And unfortunately, guys, this axe is subpar. Just want to make this really quick before you watch the video to let you know how it starts, and then it just starts going downhill. You'll be I watch the whole video. You will be shocked that I didn't see it when I first was going through the axe, and I didn't see it until the end, and I show you what I find. It's absolutely crazy. So watch this video, and hopefully you guys can see some of the stuff I see, and maybe you guys can put in the comment section what you think. Am I being a little too harsh on the guy? Should I have contacted him before making this video? I mean, if I didn't have a YouTube channel, he would have sent it to me like this. So why does it matter if I have a YouTube channel? Why does it matter? If I had bought this and had friends and family, which I consider you guys friends and family, I would have gone to you and said, look at this axe I got from this person. So me, I'm not putting him on blast on the internet. I'm sharing it with friends and family on my YouTube page, which I'm no different than you guys are. I'm sharing it with my friends and family. So keep that in mind before anybody says that I put him on blast. I'm not. But this channel is part of this channel is reviewing axes. And I'm a person just like you guys are. And I share my experiences just like everybody does with everybody. So keep that in mind. But take a look at this and tell me what you guys think. Thanks for listening to me ramble. It's going to be a long video, so try to get through it. But it's a good representation as to why, one of the reasons why I started this channel. So thanks, guys. Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's Wes, and I am from Midgard Axe yet again. Got Dave with me here. Hey, are you paying attention to this stuff, man? This stuff's important. Come on, man. All right, now that we got Dave's head back in the game. All right, we're not going over this axe. This axe, I'll probably do a review of this one in the future. It's a friction fit handled axe, but it's got a huge bit on it. These things are pretty decent. They're pretty decent for the money. I'll do a video in the future of it, but just one I had in my hand. But I'm bringing you guys something really cool. Remember in one of the past videos I said that one of my goals in this channel was to bring light to people that make good stuff or great stuff that may not get a lot of recognition for it. I'm going to go across the entire nation, maybe even outside the country if I can, and bring you guys some reviews of some blacksmith's work that may not be so recognizable and may not be as pronounced and well known as others. And I'm going to bring it to you, and we're going to test it and see how it works out, and maybe I can bring some really cool axes to you guys. So let's get into this video here. I haven't opened the box yet. I have no idea what I got. Just pictures. So let's open up the box and see what came. All right, guys, so here's the box. This is what we got going on. Let's have a look, see what we have here. Put this one down. We don't need that one anymore. All right. Box can go out of here. All right, so it's in, we got it wrapped up in some bubble wrap here. Looks like it's been wrapped twice, so that's pretty cool. Now let me discard this trash, guys, so it doesn't go blowing across the yard. Real windy today. Real windy. We got one bag, and then we have another bag. Looks like it's covering the head. Keep it from maybe rusting or something. All right, guys, here it is. Here's the hatchet that we got. I'm going to bring out my tape measure here in a second and do specs on it because I can't remember what they are, and I'm just going to do them on camera for you guys. So here's the axe right here. Okay, let's take the sheath off. Sheath looks pretty good, guys. Nice leather sheath. Looks like it's pretty durable. The stitching looks really good on it, on each side. And it's fitting the bit all the way down to the bottom. Very little movement. That's one thing that's really hard sometimes. I've noticed is getting a sheath to fit tight and not have a ton of movement on it. So this one's really tight. I mean, it's not going anywhere. And it was fairly easy to close and snap. So that's pretty cool. No issues with the snap there. It snaps and it holds. So pretty cool. It is opened at the bottom. So you do have an opening down here at the bottom where the sheath opens to the axe head and to the bit. But it's not protruding outside of the leather sheath there, so that's cool. So let's take it out, see what it's about. Of course, guys, we're going to toss this. We always toss sheaths. Okay, so here's the axe. Here's what we got here, okay? And first impressions, first things that I say that I will notice from the bat. Okay, so let's get into this thing.
let's get into specs first. Let's just do a couple different measurements here and see what specs we got. So the handle's coming in. If you go all the way down to the bottom, past the hook here, it looks like it is just shy of 16 and a quarter. Just shy of 16 and a quarter, okay? And the head itself, lengthwise, is measuring in at 6.5. We got a 6.5-inch head. Head does protrude extremely far away from the handle, which I like. And we have a bit length of 3.25. 3.25-inch bit length, okay? So that's pretty cool. I will say, just holding it in my hands for the first time, the head is coming in awful heavy for a 16-inch hatchet. Not complaining at all, but you can definitely feel that the head is really head heavy at the top here. This handle, in my opinion, it looks really nice. It's a nice looking handle. It does have some grain run out here, and the grain orientation at the bottom isn't the best, okay? But I will say that this thing is extremely too thick. Look at the size of this handle, guys. This handle is huge. I mean, when I go to put my hand over it, look at that. I usually want my fingers touching right here. Look how thick that handle is. So it is a little on the thick side. I don't really see the need in having a handle this thick. I think that's a little overkill. So I'm definitely going to have to thin this handle down. That's just way too much handle there. Down here at the knob, I will say it's already been refinished and done, so you better be careful if you have to reseat this, because you'll start getting stress fractures in here if you have to reseat this head. That's why they give you the knob down here at the bottom with all that excess material before it gets into this area, and you have that little cut that goes up in a regular knob handle. This one doesn't have it. It's already been redone, so if you had to reseat this, you better be careful smashing this knob down here, because it could crack pretty easily. I would have liked the knob down here, which isn't a huge deal, guys. I am going to kind of nitpick some things, okay? This is kind of sharp down here at the bottom. I wish they would have rounded this over a little bit more. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's a little sharp. I mean, some sandpaper in a couple minutes and I can have this thing nice and smooth. I don't know why people want to make these edges down here so sharp. There's no reason for it. You can just take a piece of sandpaper, knock it down. Not a huge deal, guys. Like I said, I'm just kind of nitpicking here. So I would have liked that to have been rounded off a little more, but nothing I can't do. All right, so getting into the fitment of this head. Okay, so it looks like you know, it's been splayed. I would have liked the splay to have been a little bit more. Will it be an issue? I don't know. We'll have to throw it and find out. But I would like to have had this thing splayed over a little bit more. It's not looking like it's splayed out very much. But, you know, I've had axes before that looked that way and never came loose. So I don't want to judge just because it's not coming out of the axe eye like this that it's going to come loose. That's not always the case. So we're going to wait and see. It does look like he used epoxy. It looks like he used epoxy inside the axe eye to seat it, which is totally fine with me, guys. That's how I seat my axe heads, and it does work, especially for throwing axes. It does help keeping that head from moving around. So it looks like that's what he did too. There is a slight gash in here. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, and it's not a huge deal. I don't know what that's from, but there's like a indentation across the axe eye up at the top. It looks like an indentation, something hit something. I don't know, but it's not in the wedge. It's only in the actual handle wood, so not a big deal. There is a little bit of a space back in this area and here. There is a little bit of a space up in here. I'm not really concerned about that little bit of space up top, but I am concerned about the space down here at the bottom, guys. We do have some space all up in here. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me bring it to close to the camera. Sorry, I hit the camera. See all that space right there? There's a bunch of space up in that area right there where it's not touching the wood, okay? And we got the same thing. I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but we got the same thing going on right here. Can you see that space? Hopefully you can. We got space right in there too. So we don't have contact. We got contact basically all up underneath this lug here, all the way in the back, all the way to here, and then in the front. But right here underneath this lug and right here underneath here, there's no contact with the wood. So I am a little concerned about that, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. The profile on this bit is okay. it looks like a grind was put on the edge at the very end, and it literally is like this. It's real fat. You guys can see that or not. It's real fat all the way up in here, and then at the very end it does this really hard wedge shaped bit. I don't like that. That's not really going to work, and to be honest with you, the grind is way all kinds of off, guys. Look at that. Look how off that grind is. Okay, here, and look at that. Look how off that grind is. It's literally this side is grinded way over this way, and then this side is kind of straight. So it's kind of like your bit's like this. I don't know how he didn't see that when he sent it to me. To me, guys, I can be a stickler. I know I can, but here's the thing. That's just basic stuff, okay? I mean, anybody can look at that and see that it's off. I wouldn't send an axe out like that to someone. I don't know. That's just me. I wouldn't do that, though. I mean, that's pretty nasty. Can you guys see that? Look how nasty that bit is. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I kind of expect a little more than that from someone. But that's just me. The head design's really cool. It does have a beard in it, and then it swoops up in here, which is really cool. I will say that the axe is a little bit rusted, a little bit more rusted. The head is the finish on it. In the sunlight, guys, you can really see it, how rusted it is. But it is a little rusted. I don't know why he wouldn't have just taken some steel wool. I don't know. Appearance is everything to me. At least when I give out products and I do things, I am kind of a perfectionist sometimes. But some of the stuff I feel like is kind of basic. Like I would have made sure to have taken some steel wool and gotten that rust off first and coated it with more oil before it came to someone like this. And the biggest thing that I found about this axe, as soon as I took it out of the box, I saw it, but I waited until now. The head is seated on here all kinds of crooked. And it's not the forging. Okay. The forging is straight. And you can see the forging straight. It was hafted wonky. So I'm going to have to rehaft this. I want to say, and I'll show you guys if you can see this or not. Let me show it to you. Let me try to get this thing as straight as I can. Look at this bit. Look at this head. See if I can get it. Literally like this. See it? The handle is straight right here. You see how the bit is cocked to this way? You look at the handle. Okay. And look at it this way. See how it's kicked over here? You can definitely see it when I hold the axe like this. That the bit's going this way. Okay. And it's not the forging, it's the way it was hafted. Yeah, it's off. Look at it, it's off this way. It's not bad, but it's still present enough to where it's going to have to be rehafted. And that's why there's space under here. What happened is that when he hafted this side right here has room and this side doesn't. And when he hafted it, it started to twist the head this way because there's all this gap, this space right in here. And when he hafted it, the head's going, okay, I can move this way. This side's saying you can't, and then he's got a crooked head. So that's why the head's crooked on this. I'll be honest with you guys, I was kind of expecting a little more than this. The pictures on his website looked a little bit better than this. Not saying, I don't know anything about the steel yet. The steel might be incredible. It might be great. But I'll be honest with you, I think I paid $100 for this. And Husqvarna does a better job, and it's cheaper. Their axes on Amazon right now are like $70. I'd rather have that one. But before I start giving you my actual final opinion, let's work on it. This thing needs a lot of work though for $100. In my opinion, there's a lot of work that needs to be done to this. And for $100, I would have expected this to come a little bit better. Now guys, I have HB axes inside my house right now that I paid $160, $180 for, and the bit is literally like this on it, which really irritated me that I think it's the Anaby hatchet, the Anaby axe or something, the HB Anaby. I'll show it to you guys in a future video, but literally the bit's like this. So That irritated me too. But maybe this is why this gentleman here that owns this company, it's called Texas Forge. Texas Forge is the name of this axe company here. I'm not hating on them. I'm really not. I kind of would have expected a little bit more. If I had sent this out and put my name on it, I would have done something different with a bit. I mean, it's not hard to see that this axe is hafted off. Okay, the handle's way too thick. The knob needs to be reprofiled. The bit needs to be completely redone. And I wouldn't be complaining too much, but guys, I've seen $50 axes that came better than this. And that's just my opinion. But that doesn't mean that I can't turn this thing around and make it a really good axe. It just, to me, it's, you spend that kind of money, you kind of hope that you get something a little better than this. So that's just my opinion though. First impressions, if you're looking for an axe that comes really good, that doesn't need a lot of work, then this axe probably would not be for you. He may put out other axes that are great, but guys, like I say before, I only do reviews on one. I get a sample of one. So this is what I'm reviewing. If he has other axes out there that are better, that's great. But this one right here, it's just, to me, it's not worth the $100. But that doesn't mean that the head's not worth it. I'm just saying the work that he did on this, maybe he should go back to the drawing board maybe and figure out a couple different things, because this could have the potential to be really good. And I know that all axes need work, okay? I'm not saying that I should get a perfect axe, but I do expect when I buy an axe to have somewhat of a decent profile on the bit. At least the head could be somewhat straight, at least hafted straight. The bit's off, I can fix that. But when it's hafted all wonky, that's what kind of gets under my skin, because it's very easy to see. The handle is way too thick. I don't know who anybody puts this in their hand and goes, yeah, I want to use this. I mean, it just feels clunky. And it's not something that feels good in the hand. So that's what I think. But I'm going to put some redesign in it. And guys, I'm not saying that I can do better by redesigning this and fixing this. I'm not saying I can do better. I'm just saying that I know that I'll be able to fix it to my liking, to where I think it's going to be great for throwing. To be honest with you, I don't know how anybody would use this for chopping, because I wouldn't even want to put this in my hand. This handle is so awkward. And it also has this weird design in it that almost feels like a rectangle. It's like flat, 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 and then flat. So it's like, it's not even oval shaped. It's like rectangle shape. It just doesn't feel good in the hand, guys. It just doesn't. And I hate bringing you guys bad news. I hate doing this because I really want to try to get people out there that make good products. And I don't like giving bad reviews and bad information to you guys. But I'm not gonna to blow smoke and say something's great when clearly you can look at things and see that there's a lot of improvement here. So that's what this is. Like I said, guys, the name of this company is called Texas Forge. I'll put his information up and you can go take a look at some of his other axes and look at his stuff. I will say this too. Wow, I just noted something. Wow. Okay, now I'm a little pissed off. I don't know how anybody works on the bit and doesn't see this. And I'm actually going to contact him now, because now I'm a little irritated. This steel has a crack in it. Can you see that? Right here on the bit, there's a crack right here, okay? And not only is there a crack there, you guys can see this or not, it runs on the bottom too. And I hope that camera is focusing. See the crack right there on the bit? So we got a crack right here. And as you can actually, here, I'll bring it a little closer. See that crack right there? Okay, now I'm a little pissed off. There's no damn way he didn't see that. There's no way. There's no way you could have put this out and not notice that crack right there. And it goes in the bottom. It starts here on the side, goes down, and then comes up on the bottom. But it's not on the other side. Actually, yeah, it is too. It's starting to make its way, guys. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's starting to make its way on this side right here. Starting to make its way. Look at that. How do you not see that? When you're grinding here to make your bit, and then you're taking off this here to give it this color here, when you're sharpening back and you're taking off the color, there's no way you wouldn't have seen that. And he sent it to me that way, which really irritates me. So yeah, look at that bit, guys. Way the fuck off. Hey, that shit irritates me. I'm sorry, but it does. $100? Come on, man. I expect way better than this. This is absolutely ridiculous. And then there's surface rust caking up on top. Brand new axe. And this isn't like this isn't like so much. I mean, it's starting to pit the metal. It's not surface rust. Shouldn't have said surface rust. It's pitting the metal. There's so much rust on the top. Okay. I'll be contacting him and finding out what's going on, why he sent me a bit with a crack in it. It goes all the way down at the bottom. That's a little crazy, guys. I will say, too, this handle's light as dog mess. It's extremely light. I'm going to throw this axe, and I almost guarantee you that I'm going to have a crack somewhere in here. Watch. Watch. Yeah, right here. I don't know what else to say at this point. I'm a little irritated, guys. I really am a little irritated. To be honest with you guys, I don't even know what I'm going to do yet with this thing. With this crack in the bit, I mean, I can have this however I want, thin to handle down to whatever. But if this thing cracks off and starts breaking apart down here at the bit, what's the point? What's the point? I might just sit this thing back and tell him to give me my money back, to be honest with you. I've seen $30 axes that were better than this. So, sorry, guys. I think this one's kind of a bust. I tried. Not a big fan. We'll see how it goes. I'm not a big fan that there's a crack in the bit. I feel like he should have seen that. I mean, I've had the axe in my hand for like not less than 10 minutes, and I found all this stuff, and he probably had it in his hand for a long time, a lot longer probably than I did, and it just irritates me he didn't see any of this. So we'll see. We'll see. But thanks, guys. I appreciate your time. I appreciate all the support. Sorry about this one, but we'll figure out what we're going to do with it. But until next time, guys, see ya.